What is a telltale sign that someone is a selfish person? Every bad thing you do to them is drama-worthy #X200B, every bad thing they do to you are details and should be moved on from, and why can't you just do that? You're so dramatic. Did after 14K, I never thought that being so upvoted would make me feel so sad. It's heartbreaking that so many people can relate to this. I'm reading every reply that are addressed to me, thank you for sharing. Ha 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 ha, why can't you just move on and forgive me? Or the classic is when you do something that pisses them off, you stop. But when they do something similar, never 100% the same but they don't understand the nuance, they can't understand why that would ever upset you and it shouldn't upset you, it's not that big of a deal. I'm trauma dumping here lol. Anyways. People don't take responsibility for their actions. Oh geez, I had an ex who literally said I said the words, meaning she had apologized for treating me badly, and was upset that I wouldn't move on from it. The reason I hadn't was because despite her apology her actions never changed, she was still doing the same thing she apologized for. And apologies don't mean a damn thing if your behavior doesn't change as well. Conversations don't feel like conversations. They are one-sided talks about what they want, their thoughts, their life, their priorities, etc. When you are able to slip a word in, your words are used as transitions in their dialogue. No matter how you format your words, they all just add to the plot of their story. What you say and what you do are pawns in their game to be manipulated in a way that belittles your experiences, actions, opinions, and choices. I see you've met my manager. Wait till you see my manager. Wait a minute. Yeah, but anyway, my manager is the worst. When every single bad thing that happens to another person gets spun around into their personal problem, e.g., I'm really upset because my family member is going through X. And that friend is too busy to care for my needs. Can you believe they didn't text me back immediately? Sorry I forgot to text you back, I was dissociating for 3 days and eating nothing but granola bars. This is a lighthearted joke. I am not calling anyone selfish. I thought that was pretty obvious tbh. For the record, the generic chocolate chip chewy ones are the best, and if you disagree I cannot save your soul when the Reaper calls. Nature Valley is also good when I feel like being submerged in millions of crumbs. An all-consuming sea of oats and honey. I'm not sure if this was intended to be an example of a thing a selfish person would say or just a very painfully relatable comment, but either way I felt this on a spiritual level. If I ever heard it from a friend I would accept it as a perfect excuse with zero follow-up questions. Except maybe what kind of granola bars? 48 count box of generic brand chocolate chip chewy bars. Doesn't think they're wrong in the slightest bit. They can't shoulder any bit of responsibility. I love these threads. I always use them as a way to measure whether I'm doing those things or not and fix them if I am. Made it about yourself, haven't you? Hee hee hee. Phew ooh, you got me good. They respond how worse their situation is when you're sharing your problems with them. No try for help or listening, just trying to draw attention on their side. Ah, the complainers. I have a friend that is like that, and lately I have just been letting her talk, with dry responses such as oh wow tough luck, yeah you told me all of that via text, and I would talk only if she would ask me a question. Well, the hangout got silent super fast. And it seems she is no longer satisfied sharing the details of her life with me. Noik. I once had a friend who would just complain all the time about everything, never really doing anything to fix the problem, and if she did she'd still complain about it. One day I tell her that I want to be her friend but our conversations were always so negative and couldn't we talk about more positive things? The whole dynamic of the friendship changed and she just straight up stopped talking to me saying I don't know what to talk about with you anymore. That admission tied with her inaction blew me away. We drifted apart and are no longer friends. If they always talk about themselves. I know many people that will just not shut up about their day an entire call then just leave when you start talking about yours. Likewise, but some people just aren't aware that they're doing it. I've politely mentioned it to a couple close friends and they've been way more conscientious about their behavior since. Life ain't binary and good people might have bad habits without knowing it, so try to help them is my way of thinking. Your mileage may vary OFC, hence me saying some people. Bingo. I had a serious defect of doing this. I was mortified when my wife told me about it and now I make conscious efforts to be a better listener. It's refreshing to be called out by close friends. If I can't trust you to tell me when I'm being an asshole, Then how am I supposed to correct my behavior patterns? No one can clearly see their own flaws. They bring nothing to the potluck but are first in line. They brought Tupperware containers to the potluck to bring home. I'm mad when people don't bring their own containers. It means someone is going to take one of mine and never return it. Edit: I have decided to follow the advice of my grandmother and Reddit and begin saving containers for giving to others for leftovers. My ex was insanely selfish. Her dad gave her a $20K a month allowance. Plus paid for her mortgage on a penthouse in NYC while she went to Yale. He paid her car plus insurance. She had zero need for cash. All bills are paid. He also gave her a credit card with him assuming no limit. 'Cause we bought a car on a whim once. But I saw her steal $3 from a friend who was passed out. Shed steal panties from Walmart. She had a pile of cash in her bedroom. We once needed to pay for a delivery. I'd give it was bagels or pizza, but she refused to touch the pile of cash. I had to walk to my car to get cash. And when I tipped her $10 for waiting, my ex went ballistic. Calling me a bitch, a moron and queer. 'Cause why would you give a random porky bitch $10 for $5 worth of food? We went to a celeb wedding. She found a way to take 4 gift baskets as opposed to the 2 we were supposed to get. Every guest got one. She also stole a $500 gift card to Victoria's Secret from the wedding. She's wicked greedy. How the duck is she spending $5K a week? I just realized I didn't reply. I apologize, that's $20K a month in cash transfers only. I think she was spending closer to $50K a month, if you include all bills, exclude cost of schooling. But, that being said, would go to Michelin star restaurants daily. Every week she'd buy a new outfit, made for her. She bought upwards of 75 Birkin bags in a span of 2 to 3 years. She bought new heels every 3 to 5 days. We'd get hotel rooms every time we'd go out. She gave me $550 a week to make the floral arrangements for her house. It's something I did professionally, so I'm not just a chump here. If you can think $5K a week, it'd do XYZ. She did triple whatever it is. I have to ask, how long did you stick it out here and why did you break up? I assume it's because she is clearly stark raving mad, but you also did dated her, so I don't want to assume. Lol. We were together, with one 6-week break, for 5.5 years. We broke up cause I realized she didn't respect me as a person. She'd tell me to walk in back with the help at red carpet events cause I'm not red carpet hot. We stayed together cause her dad loved me. I was the son he never had. I once overheard him tell her that has a member of the fam now. Don't duck it up lol. But, the last straw, she destroyed a dress I made her. It took me 20 hours and a ton of effort. She had it completely recut. And, she told a celeb fashion designer I made it. That hurt my business. So, I was done. She married a mechanic on a pig farm in Iowa. So, I lucked out. She married a mechanic on a pig farm in Iowa. So, I lucked out. This story keeps getting wilder. How does someone like that even meet, let alone have enough in common with a mechanic on a pig farm to end up marrying him? Seriously, I strangely totally believe it, but also it sounds like a really bomb Mad Lib. If you are in a group and there is one person that is constantly interrupting the middle of what you or anyone else is saying, generally to brag about themselves with a one-upper story, is generally a precursor to stop associating with them. I've met too many of them in my days, and they are more often than not happy to throw you under the bus whenever the opportunity arises. The Elevenarife type. You say you've been in Tenerife and they say that's cool, but they visited Elevenarife. When anything that happens to them is the worst thing in the world, and whatever happens to you is not that bad and a waste of time talking about or dealing with. I know your mom died a month ago, but my best friend of 3 years died too, so I don't see why you are so sad all of the time. I think narcissism and selfishness go hand in hand, so there you go. Friend of mine was talking to a mutual ex-friend about how she was feeling shit because it was coming up to the anniversary of her sister's murder. The ex-friend responded that she was also feeling shitty, and needed support, because her boyfriend, who had been visiting for the weekend, had gone home. We both cut her off after that. After my sister's husband passed, a friend said, I know exactly how it feels. My husband is in the army and goes away for months. But said husband comes home and can email and video call, and most of all is not dead. Now she's an ex-friend to everyone.